You know that moment. Someone catches your eye across the room, then quickly turns their head away like they just saw a ghost. It happens more often than you think, and it can leave you wondering, what was that all about? It's one of those universal human experiences that can leave you feeling curious, self-conscious, or even downright bewildered. You might find yourself replaying the scene in your head, trying to decipher a hidden message or unspoken judgment. Was there something on your face? Did they recognize you? Or were they just strange? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on this all too common moment and explore the real reasons behind that fleeting glance. Understanding this isn't just about satisfying curiosity. It's about gaining a deeper understanding of human psychology and how we all navigate the complex dance of social life. We've all been there. You're walking down the street, sitting on a bus, or even just in a cafe, and you feel that familiar pull. Someone's eyes meet yours for a split second, and then they dart away so quickly, you almost question whether it even happened. It's like a kind of secret language, a silent exchange that often leaves more questions than answers. This seemingly small moment can actually carry a lot of weight, stirring up all kinds of feelings in us. Why does it happen? And what does it mean for you, the one on the receiving end? Let's unpack the main reasons behind this fascinating human habit. Let's start with a big one here: shyness or social anxiety. For many people, social interactions can feel like navigating a minefield. Prolonged eye contact, especially with a stranger, can feel incredibly intimidating or even confrontational. Imagine walking into a room and every pair of eyes feels like a spotlight suddenly focused on you. It's enough to make anyone want to shrink back. For someone who struggles with shyness or social anxiety, their initial glance might come from simple curiosity, or maybe they're just trying to take in their surroundings. It's a quick assessment, a sizing up of the environment. But the moment their gaze connects with yours, a wave of discomfort can wash over them. The fear of being judged, the pressure of a potential interaction, or simply the overwhelming feeling of being seen can trigger a powerful self-protective mechanism. Their brain screams, "Abort! Abort!" and their eyes quickly disengage. Think of it this way. They wanted to take a look, but didn't want to get caught doing it. It's not about you being a threat. It's about their internal struggle with feeling exposed. They looked because humans are naturally curious and observe their surroundings. They looked away because the thought of prolonged eye contact or the possibility of you acknowledging them back feels like too much of a challenge to handle. It's their way of reducing discomfort and avoiding a social situation their brain perceives as potentially threatening, even if it's perfectly harmless to you. They're just trying to protect themselves from feeling awkward or vulnerable. So, if someone looks at you and quickly looks away, most of the time they might just be a bit shy, and it often has nothing to do with you. Now, let's flip the coin over to a more flattering explanation. Interest or attraction. This is the classic checking you out move, but done in a way that doesn't come across as too forward or obvious. When someone is attracted to you, they often subtly gauge your reaction. They'll steal a glance, hoping to catch your eye, but then quickly look away to avoid immediately revealing their interest. It's a delicate dance, a form of nonverbal flirting that speaks volumes without saying a single word. This is especially common in romantic situations. Someone might be admiring something about you: your smile, your outfit, the way you carry yourself. They want to take it all in, but they're also a little nervous about getting caught staring. So they glance, take in the information, and then divert their eyes, often with a slight blush or a subtle shift in body language. The quick look away isn't a sign of disinterest. It's often a sign of nervousness tied to attraction. They're testing the waters, seeing if you'll notice, perhaps hoping you'll give them a second glance back. It allows them to maintain a sense of privacy and control in the situation. If you don't return the gaze, they haven't put themselves out there too much yet. If you do, it might open the door to another, slightly longer glance, or even a smile. This is the subtle art of attraction, playing out in fleeting moments. So next time, consider the possibility that you only caught someone's eye because you genuinely caught their interest. It's a common human behavior, like a bird chirping a tune, waiting to see if another bird responds. Social interactions are governed by a whole range of unwritten rules and cultural norms, and eye contact is a major one. What's considered polite in one culture might be seen as rude or aggressive in another. In many Western cultures, brief, occasional eye contact is generally seen as a sign of engagement and respect. However, prolonged, direct staring can feel confrontational or overly intense. Think about it. Have you ever been in a conversation where someone stares at you without blinking at all? It can feel a bit uncomfortable, right? That's because our brains are wired to interpret prolonged, unbroken eye contact as a challenge or an act of dominance. So when someone looks at you and then quickly looks away, they might simply be following unspoken rules of politeness. Their initial glance might be a quick acknowledgement of your presence, a simple, "I see you," without the need to start a conversation. It's a brief assessment of the situation to ensure they're not accidentally invading your personal space or being disrespectful to you. The quick look away is simply a way to avoid creating an uncomfortable power dynamic or overstepping social boundaries. They're consciously or unconsciously avoiding what feels like a stare down. This can also happen in crowded places. You might glance at someone to make sure you're not about to bump into them, then quickly look away once you've confirmed your path is clear. It's not personal, it's just efficient social navigation. In some cultures, especially in certain Asian or Middle Eastern ones, direct eye contact with elders or strangers can even be seen as disrespectful. So when someone looks away quickly, they might simply be adhering to deep-seated cultural norms that dictate humility and respect. It's a reminder that our social world is far more complex than we often realize. Sometimes, the reason someone looks at you and then quickly looks away has absolutely nothing to do with you, their shyness, or their attraction to you. It's just the brain doing its thing. Our minds are constantly processing information, scanning our surroundings, and juggling internal thoughts and feelings. A brief glance might simply be a byproduct of these cognitive processes. Imagine someone lost in thought, perhaps daydreaming about what they're going to eat for dinner, or replaying a conversation from earlier. Their eyes might be moving around, scanning their visual field without any specific target. You just happen to be in the path of that fleeting glance. It's like when you're driving and your eyes move from the road to the rearview mirror to the dashboard and back again. Most of those quick glances aren't focused on anything in particular. They're just part of the brain's way of gathering information. They might have briefly glanced around while taking in their surroundings. Maybe they were looking for a friend or trying to find the exit, and you just happened to be in their peripheral vision. Or perhaps Their glance came from a fleeting thought, a memory, an idea, a distraction. They might be looking through you rather than at you, with their mind miles away. Think of the times you've zoned out and stared blankly into space, only to realize you were looking directly at someone. You quickly avert your gaze, feeling a little sheepish. That's a cognitive process at work. Their brain was occupied with an internal monologue or scanning the environment, and your presence was just an incidental stop along their visual field. It's not about you. It's about a mind running multiple processes at once, like a system overloaded with input. Finally, let's talk about simple curiosity. At our core, we are deeply curious creatures. Our brains are hardwired to notice novelty and constantly gather information from the world around us. So, someone looking at you and quickly looking away might simply be curiosity at play. Why would they be curious? Maybe you're wearing something eye-catching, a vibrant scarf, a unique hat, or a t-shirt with a funny message. Or perhaps you're making an unusual expression, a thoughtful frown, a wide grin, or you've just sneezed in a rather dramatic way. Or maybe you're simply a new face in a familiar space, and their brain briefly flags you as something worth noticing. They try to gather more information, to understand what's happening around them. It's an instinctive, almost childlike urge. Yet most people don't want to be caught openly staring, as it can come across as rude or even creepy. So, they give in to their curiosity with a quick glance, then look away to avoid making it too obvious. They don't want to make you uncomfortable. It's like when you catch an interesting snippet of conversation at another table in a restaurant. You might subtly tune in, try to catch a word or two, then quickly return to your own conversation, pretending you weren't listening. The same principle applies here. They looked because something in their visual field, you, caught their attention. They looked away because they didn't want to seem impolite or as if they were invading your space. It's a natural, harmless human response to the constant stream of information our senses take in. So here's the challenge. When someone looks at you and quickly looks away, we often react immediately and unconsciously by making it about us. We jump to conclusions. Do I have something on my shirt? Are they judging my hair? Did I say something weird? This self-focused way of interpreting things can lead to anxiety, self-consciousness, or even paranoia, especially if you're already prone to social anxiety. The problem isn't the fleeting glance itself, it's the story we tell ourselves about what that glance means. We often forget that other people are complex beings with their own inner worlds, worries, attractions, and conditioning. We project our fears and assumptions onto their actions, creating a narrative that may be completely removed from reality. This is where understanding these 5 core reasons becomes so powerful. It allows us to stop personalizing every interaction and instead see them through a broader, more empathetic perspective. The key moment here, the peak of our understanding, is realizing that these quick glances are rarely, if ever, a direct negative judgment of you. Instead, they are almost always a reflection of the other person's internal state, their social conditioning, or their innate human drives. It's not about your flaws, it's about their mental landscape. Once you understand this, it becomes incredibly freeing. You stop taking these moments personally and instead begin to observe them with detachment and a deeper understanding of the human condition. So the next time someone looks at you and quickly looks away, you can interpret that moment through a completely different lens. It might be shyness, a subtle sign of interest, social etiquette, a fleeting cognitive lapse, or simple curiosity. The reason is rarely simple or single-layered. It's usually a combination of these factors, shaped by the context of the interaction, the person's personality, and their cultural background. Understanding these different possible causes helps us avoid jumping to conclusions. It encourages a more understanding and empathetic approach to social interactions, making us less likely to feel self-conscious and more able to appreciate the rich, subtle tapestry of human interaction. This knowledge empowers you to navigate your social interactions with greater confidence and less self-doubt. If you found this exploration of human behavior fascinating, make sure to watch the next video for even more insights into the amazing world of psychology.